The entire situation with Blizzard against Ascension WoW is just embarrassing. Apparently, Blizzard even got their name wrong in the lawsuit, but to be honest with y'all, I'm not even surprised.
So the Ascension lawsuit just had its first real turn, and honestly, it was only a matter of time before this happened. For weeks, the whole story has been that the people behind Ascension are ghosts. Anonymous, offshore, impossible to find. The kind of operation that vanishes the second the law gets close. Blizzard basically said as much in court that these guys would scatter into crypto and bulletproof hosting before anyone could pin them down. But for me, it was always fairly obvious that at least someone was going to have to surface in some form, and on the 2nd of July, one of them did. They walked into a federal courtroom with a lawyer ready to fight. Drop a comment if you call this too, and if you want this case followed properly all the way through, subscribing is the easiest way to catch the next turn, because there's going to be one.
Listen, I don't think there's going to be any story here whatsoever. I think it's going to be another TurtleWow situation, which, by the way, I called correctly. Blizzard sued TurtleWow. TurtleWow folded because they had no case. They were literally engaging in piracy, which is illegal. Blizzard will always win that case easily and swiftly as humanly possible. It's not about like who's right or wrong. Obviously, Blizzard is in the right here, which, it's just so terrible thing to say because usually they do the most worse inhuman stuff imaginable. But this time they're actually in the right. But it's just unfortunate that such a big company has been upstaged by a bunch of fans, and they're suing them like they're some sort of a mafia. It's all very laughable. But, well, what can we do but laugh at Blizzard at this point? They
So
gave
here's
us no
what
other
landed
option.
on the docket, and I want to be precise about it because it's easy to oversell. 3 documents, all dated the 2nd of July. 2 of them are what's called an appearance, which is just a lawyer formally telling the court I represent this party now. The third is the interesting one. It's a notice of opposition to Blizzard's request to unmask everyone, the ex parte application I broke down last time. Now, one of the named defendants in this case is a company, and a lawyer has stepped up to represent it. I'm going to leave the attorney's name out of this the same way I leave everyone else's out, and just talk about what the filing actually does. And you'll see in a second why that's almost funny. Because the first thing the filing does is point out that Blizzard sued the client under the wrong name. The company Blizzard named in the lawsuit isn't the company that actually exists. They got it wrong. And that's a small thing on its own, but think about what it says. Blizzard's whole case is built on the idea that they've done the deep investigation, followed the money, mapped out exactly who these shell companies are and who's.
Are you telling me Blizzard Entertainment will do the bare minimum to achieve maximum result? Even in court? No way! No way! This is like. Guys, these are the people who built World of Warcraft, a sublime product. Only the jailer can suppress that. No, for real, it's so stupid. Honestly, you know what's funny? You can tell me the most bogus crap imaginable and stick Blizzard name to it, and I would immediately believe you. I would immediately believe you, even if you tell me the most ridiculous, unbelievable story out there. The moment you say it happened in Blizzard headquarters, I would believe that. 10 out of 10 times, I would.
Behind them. And the very first defendant to lawyer up shows up and goes, "You didn't even get our name right."
Yeah, they care.
Here's where I have to pump the brakes on the hype though, because this filing is not the big courtroom brawl yet. What the defense is actually asking for is time. They say they only got hired that same day, literally hours before filing, so there's been no chance to read the full application, the declarations, the complaint, all of it. And the next day, the 3rd of July, is the Independence Day holiday, with the weekend right after. So they asked the court for permission to file the real written opposition by the 10th of July and asked the judge to hold off on ruling until that lands. So what we've got right now is narrow. A defendant showing up, planting their feet and saying, "Give me a week and I'll tell you why this discovery shouldn't happen." The actual argument against being unmasked, the meat of it, comes around the 10th. This is the throat clear before the real thing. But even the throat clear matters because of what it signals. Remember, the entire theory of where this scene is heading, the thing I've said in video after video, is that legal pressure pushes these operations into the shadows, that they go anonymous and offshore and untouchable. And here's a defendant doing the opposite, hiring an American lawyer, standing in an American court, fighting in the open.
Because they're stupid. There's nothing to fight. Everyone knows that this is a losing battle. I don't know why they didn't just capitulate to Blizzard demands and shut it down like Turtle WoW has. And it's unfortunate thing to have happened. You know I'm an avid Turtle WoW enjoyer, and I will always commemorate Turtle WoW because they were truly the best Classic Plus experience out there, and I did really enjoy it. At the end of the day, what they did was wrong. You can't really vouch for that. And it's, again, extremely disheartening, and, it tears me apart to say it, but it's the truth. We can't have people running around opening private servers. Unfortunately, it's just reality. And Blizzard is fun. Like, it's not even an uphill battle. There is no battle. It's not an if, it's a when. And I guess now they're just stalling for time because they really want to make sure Blizzard don't publicly shame them. And I do respect that and I do understand it, but I don't think the court will care. Maybe I'm wrong about this.
That's one data point.
I've never played World of Warcraft. Good. You wouldn't need to know the pain that we're suffering through right now.
Against the whole vanishing to the dark story. And it's worth paying.
Wait, what? Didn't they say they were shutting down? I thought they did. I didn't see any message. Did Ascension said that? Regardless, it's going to happen, so it doesn't really matter if they said it or not. Like, it will happen, 100%, but I didn't see any message.
Might
be wrong about that, though.
The boring but important part plainly, since it's a legal video. The racketeering claim here is the civil kind. Civil RICO is a lawsuit between private parties. It sends nobody to prison, and it's historically hard to win. So when you hear someone showed up to fight the RICO case, picture lawyers arguing over subpoenas, not handcuffs. And now the part that makes this whole thing surreal. The exact same weekend that a defendant is in court trying to slow down the lawsuit, Ascension went ahead and launched the biggest project they've ever built, Conquest of Azeroth. It went live on the 3rd of July, the literal day after the court filing. And it is not small. 21 completely custom classes, 70 specializations, a brand new support role that vanilla World of Warcraft never had.
Imagine, that was their one less FU to Blizzard. I like that. I like that they did that. Some people call it a final cash grab. I don't think many people would spend money on a product they know it's about to die, unless they're really stupid and they actually deserve to lose that money. So I think it was just them saying, look at what we did to Blizzard. Look at how we upstaged them, and I respect it. I don't think they have any long-term plans. I think the game is cooked. The developers know it. The manager, Dutch, I think that's his alias. He knows it. Everyone knows it. Everyone. But they wanted to show Blizzard one last time how they can be absolutely demolished by their fans using their own engine. And some people actually use it as an argument against me in the comment, like, oh, they took Blizzard engine, they couldn't have made them by themselves. Well, brother, you're just proving my point even further. Imagine someone coming in, using your engine without really learning anything about it, and completely annihilates you in the process. Because Blizzard could have easily made Ascension WoW. Blizzard could have easily made Turtle WoW. They chose not to. Or maybe they just can't, which I think is the more likely option. And it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing to Blizzard. I don't think they want their name to be smeared like that, but they're completely fine with fridge raiding and cube crawling, by the way. So that's kind of odd, but hey, you know what? To each their own reasoning, I guess. So it's just funny for me to see how a private server completely embarrassed Blizzard in such a manner, but I'm all here for it. I'm all here for it because whenever Blizzard is going to do anything, I'm going to be comparing them to Turtle WoW. I'm going to be comparing them to Ascension. Even though I have to admit, Ascension WoW isn't really a great server. I've tried it. It's okay. There's some things that I enjoy, some things that I don't. Generally speaking, it's kind of like retail. It's not even remotely close to Classic whatsoever. But some of the classes were insanely fun. insanely fun, and I'm surprised Blizzard didn't do any of that.
It's free to play and it pulled a serious crowd on day one. So picture the split screen. On one side, lawyers, deadlines, a federal judge deciding whether to tear the masks off. On the other, tens of thousands of people rolling necromancers and tinkers and witch doctors into a brand new world. Most of them probably not thinking about the lawsuit at all. Same project, same week, two completely different realities. And I keep going back and forth
Stormbringer is
on what that
insanely fun, by the way.
combination even means. Is it confidence, a team that genuinely believes the lawsuit can't touch them, so why not launch? Is it defiance, a middle finger pointed at Blizzard in the form of the most ambitious thing they could possibly ship? Or is it just momentum, a project that was years in the making, hitting its release date regardless of what the lawyers are doing? Honestly, it's probably all three at once, and the people who made it might not fully separate them either.
It's a little bit cropped
Which
out of
brings
frame,
me
son.
to the part I actually
I
care
can
about
read.
most here because it's what gets lost in all the legal noise. Strip away the court filings for a second and look at what Conquest of Azeroth actually is. It's 21 classes built entirely from scratch. Necromancers who command the undead. Thinkers who drop turrets and mechs. Witch doctors, rune masters, blood mages, a class that literally bends time. Thousands of new abilities.
Yep. And how much time, like how many times people have asked Blizzard to add certain classes? We wanted Chronomancer as a mage healer for a decade. We wanted Tinker since the dawn of men. Okay? We wanted all of these classes. Like, we wanted Demon Hunters, which we got in Legion, but it took them way too long to add them. We wanted Witch Doctors. We wanted so many classes that are currently in Ascension that I don't know why Blizzard isn't cashing in on this, to be honest. I actually do not know. But it's just bogus to me. It's so stupid.
Reimagining of the world people have been playing for 20 years. And here's the uncomfortable truth underneath it. Official World of Warcraft, with all of Blizzard's money and people, has never made anything like this. An official Classic Plus still doesn't even exist. These people built the thing the players were asking for, and Blizzard didn't. So the community is split on it, and I get both sides. Plenty of people are cheering the take that if a company worth this much can't outbuild its own fans, that's
There
on
you
the
go.
company. And then there's the quieter, more uncomfortable...
Absolutely. And they're hella right to say that. If you get embarrassed by your fans using your own engine, you're a joke. You're a living, breathing, walking joke. It's pathetic. A multi-billion-dollar company cannot even create something that their fans has has made in a cave with a bunch of scraps. Man, like, what can I even say about this? And by the way, you should also understand that Blizzard can easily siphon these companies into their company. Siphon, well, just absorb would be the appropriate term here, and make this product official. Blizzard can easily make Turtle WoW and Ascension an official thing, and they can make their own spin on it. But I'm pretty sure that if you just hired these people and gave them the necessary stuff that they need, like necessary systems and all of that, and funding, you will get a product that will have such a huge return on investment, short term and long term. Because imagine if Ascension WoW was official. Imagine if Ascension WoW was Season of Discovery. You know how many players would have played WoW right now? I think everyone would have. Imagine if Turtle WoW was official Classic Plus. Everyone would have lost their minds. But again, Blizzard would never do that. Why? Because they chose to pander to 0 point something percenters of crazy blue-haired Karens. That's all they care about. It's all about virtue signaling. It's all performative. They want retail to be this derogatory game that emasculate men, and basically just, neuter the entire World of Warcraft scene. They're so deathly afraid to even say Warcraft.
voice coming from inside the private server world itself that says this stopped being passionate hobbyists keeping a game alive and turned into a very professional operation making very real money off someone else's work. Both of those are true at the same time. The love and the business are the same project. But whatever you think about the money, here's what a shutdown actually costs. It's not just a company losing a court case. It's all of that craft, all 21 classes, all that design nobody else is making. Blinking out, you can believe Blizzard has every legal right to protect what's theirs and still feel something when you watch the most creative thing to happen to this game in years get switched off right as tens
Yeah,
of
we don't need to believe Blizzard has a legal right to defend what theirs. They have it. It's not a matter of belief. It's a matter of we live in a society with laws, and if we don't abide laws, we're gonna have chaos. Now, it's true that all of these big companies engage in so much misconduct, and they should be held liable, but that's a discussion for a different day. We can't have a society where people just steal intellectual property, okay? Like, I want to make this absolutely clear. I want to be fair on this. Let's see. On the launch day, Dutch was asking people how they were enjoying Conquest of Azeroth in chat. When was the last time Blizzard employee asked the gamers in chat if they liked the game? If a GM would actually ask in chat if they enjoy the game, they're gonna get so much. It's going to be like 50% hate, 50% bot spamming the trade chat. That's the only response he's going to get. But Blizzard doesn't have GMs in ages. It's all AI responses in the cringiest way possible. It wouldn't work. Having work from them, trust me, the woke mentality is way up to change anything. Yeah, I know. It has been infesting Blizzard for the better part of the last, what, like 6 years? And it's not going to go away anytime soon. That's why I'm constantly making these videos, calling these weirdos out. That's why I'm constantly saying, like, hey, Blizzard right now is engaging in so much malpractice. You should put the spotlight on them, especially when the entire, milk fiesta parties have imploded and everyone will reveal to that horrible information. For some reason, I still can't let it go. It was so disgusting and revolting. Actually, even a key figures in like the Hearthstone community have spoke against Blizzard, and they never do anything. They're just insane shills. And even they spoke against it. It was that bad. So we shouldn't give Blizzard any leniency whatsoever. We should always crack down hard on them because they engage in a behavior that should put most people into prison.
thousands of people fall in
And
love
that's a
with it.
fact. I'm not even making
Both of
this up.
those feelings can sit in the same chest.
Where this goes,
So where
nowhere.
does it actually land from here? The next real beat is that written opposition, due around the 10th of July. That's when we find out the actual argument for why Blizzard shouldn't be allowed to unmask these people. And given that the first move was catching Blizzard using the wrong company name, I'm genuinely curious what else the defense thinks they've got.
They've got
After
nothing.
that, the judge decides. And remember, there are two separate clocks running here, the defendants answering the lawsuit itself, and this fight over the early subpoenas, and they don't move at the same speed. But I can't tell.
It doesn't matter. None of this matter. Blizzard already won. I mean, listen, I know people like to grasp at straws and have some hope, like with TurtleWow. The TurtleWow said, we would never surrender, we will fight to the end. The moment they said that, I called it, and in a couple of months, this entire ordeal is going to end. And I was right. People called me out for it. People thought I was just a doomer. I was right. And I'll always be right. You know why? Because I look at facts, not feelings. That's why. That's why I'm always correct at every prediction I ever made. And this is not hubris, this is just me analyzing a certain situation. If I'm unsure about something, I'll say that I'm unsure and I'll never call something as a fact. But whenever I'm 100% sure, I'm going to shout it from the mountaintops. I did it with Ashes of Creation, I was right. I did it with TurtleWow, I was right. I'm doing it right now with Ascension, I'm going to be right about that. Okay, I'm not going to say that I'm right now, but I am going to be right about this. There is no dispute. Blizzard will win. It's a closed case. It's just a matter of if they'll be able to unmask them or not. I hope not. I don't think these people should be publicly shamed. I don't think think these people should be doxxed. I would be really happy to see that this all went smoothly. They just shut it down. We had our fun with the server, and that's it. We'll have some fond memories, and we get to continue our lives and clown on Blizzard.
Is whether this changes the ending. Maybe one defendant fighting in the open is the start of a real pushback. Maybe it's a single company with a single lawyer, and everyone else still scatters exactly like Blizzard predicted. I lean toward thinking this suite still ends the way the Turtle one did. But I've been surprised once this week already, so I'm holding that loosely. If you want to see how this plays out, subscribe and stick around, because the 10th of July is going to be worth talking about. And tell me in the comments where you land. Are we watching the start of a real fight?
No.
Or just a slower version of the same ending? Thank you so much for watching. Until the next one.
Damn. Great video. Great video. I'm so glad this guy's now popping off covering the entire Ascension thing. I'm really glad for him. It's truly delightful. It's truly delightful to see someone else just speaking up for this. But unfortunately, I don't know if he's milking for, you know, just hope in the future or something. It's not going to happen. This server is dead. If you're playing this server right now, you should know you have a couple of months left at best. And just enjoy it while it lasts. I do. And it's great. But it's not going to last forever. Unfortunately, I kind of stopped playing because you can't make content for it on YouTube, so I rather just speak of it from like a third-person view, or maybe a second-person view, like I did yesterday. Sorry, first-person view. But I really don't want to like engage in it and break TOS and do all of that stuff, so I kind of hope you guys understand it. But great video regardless. Yeah, I bet if it's down in a few months, years, someone would copy it. Of course. People already copy Turtle WoW. You have OctoWoW. It's exactly the same thing, but no one will play it. Every time you take down a server, less and less people are inclined to play it because they don't want to commit so heavily into it. And I completely understand that because MMOs are all about long-term commitment, and if you can guarantee an MMO future, a lot of people are not going to even start it, which is very understandable. Yeah, exactly. I went into it expecting it would be shut down very soon. Yeah, that's good. I mean, I've seen a lot of people commenting, why should I invest into a server that's about to be shut down? Well, just enjoy it. Just let the server give you an idea of what Blizzard needs to be like, of what Blizzard needs to do right. And just quit, you know, just have fun. Like, what happened to just having fun, right? Not everything needs to be competitive and long-term investment, in my opinion, but I do understand these people. Like, I do get them. So yeah, anyway, I'm gonna leave you guys a link. Great video regardless.